Matthew, because when we speak of President Trump, and amid the snag in the U.S. talks with Iran, President Trump, however, seems to be mixing threat with optimism. He says that Tehran has about 60 days to strike a deal or face consequences that will not make them happy. He is now cautioned that any escalation that could disrupt the oil flows through the Strait of Hormuz. We'll play out what President Trump said. Well, this is coming at a time when President Trump is of the opinion that if they do not agree with the deal, well, then they will be facing the consequences and they better be ready for that. So is he not ruling out if there would be military action that would, be initiated on part of America? Because this is time and again where talks have and negotiations have nearly failed or, went downhill when President Trump has been threatening to blow up Iran, literally. But with regards to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, well, there has been a lot of back and forth as far as the statements that have come in from President Trump. So till about yesterday, he seemed unhappy and frustrated with the Bibi, and now he seems to be praising Prime Minister Netanyahu. The U.S. president has called the Israeli leader to be a warrior prime minister, saying that he should be given more credit. So this is coming at a time where Israel, which is not party to this peace memorandum, to 14-point peace memorandum, however, this memorandum does include Lebanon. So has Iran got its way, having, when it comes to including Lebanon to provide that cover, which Iran refers to it as a great resistance? Let's, in the meantime, listen in to President Trump.
We have the greatest military anywhere in the world, and you saw that in Iran, where in 1 week, virtually, we knocked out their entire Navy, their entire Air Force, their anti-missile weapons, their radar. We knocked out everything. Now, some of the fake news would say, oh, we didn't do it fast enough or something. We took about a week. We're a little spoiled by Venezuela, but equal, I would say equal. And now we have an agreement that was signed last night. And it's 60 days. They have to make a deal. Otherwise, we will do things that won't make them happy. But I don't think it's going to get to that. I think it's going to be very good. Remember, if we do that, then all of a sudden you're not going to have the oil flowing out of the strait too quickly, because people that own billion-dollar ships don't love missiles flying over them, don't love mines all over the water. But we have a lot of...
Well, Matthew, what's the understanding as far as this peace deal that has been signed, however, remotely, the in-person signing that was supposed to happen yesterday in Switzerland, that meeting has been called off. But the main question still remains. What has been the U.S. objective as far as launching these joint strikes with Israel, and have you achieved that objective? Was it actually necessary as far as this conflict when dialogue and negotiations were still taking place?
So one of the things you were hearing right from the onset of Trump there, and repeated throughout all of this, is the credibility that is necessary for deterrence to work. And Trump has wiped out, at this point, generations of Iran's potential and actual leadership. So when he says, you guys have 60 days to get this done, they know that they should take this quite seriously, right? I mean, remember when he talked about bridges and power plants day and all of the things like that. And when it comes to what's happening with Israel, what I think you're seeing already is Iran trying to sabotage this deal, because at the end of the day, Lebanon is run by Hezbollah, which is an Iranian proxy, and they are lobbing missiles into Israel right now. So Israel's not going to be expected, I think, in any reasonable world to sit back and take that. So they're striking at Iranian
Then why
proxies.
is President Trump unhappy with the Prime Minister Netanyahu? Because Israel clearly did not want the military operation to end on part of the United States at all. And there has been skirmishes that has been reported even after signing of this deal.
That's exactly. It's a huge win. It's a huge propaganda win for Iran, which is trying to have Israel viewed as sabotaging this deal, when at the end of the day, they're just activating their proxy network. One of the points, whether it's in the 14 points itself of the memorandum or if it's in one of the wink and nod handshake agreements that have been struck in Versailles, is Iran needs to stop funding its army of terror proxies in the Middle East and beyond. But
then why was Lebanon included in the deal, Matthew? Quick question.
It's included because of the Iranian proxies. Hezbollah, which still governs basically all of Lebanon, is an Iranian proxy. America is saying to Iran, hey, you've had this shield of terror proxies, right? You had Hamas in Gaza. You have Hezbollah in Lebanon. You have the Houthis in Yemen that have been threatening not just Israel, but with the Houthis, all of global shipping. So America is saying, look, we want the Strait of Hormuz to be opened. We want global shipping to commence as it was on February 25th or something like that. But if Iran is not going to be willing to stop that sponsorship, then what the heck is the point here? What is this?
Well, that portrays a very different picture, Matthew, because it also looks like, you know, there has been pressure that has been built on part of Iranian side, which America seems to have succumbed to by including Lebanon as far as in this peace deal, because now they clearly have a upper hand or a free hand to support their resistance. If, you know, Israel, you don't want their involvement, because for Israel, their objective is completely different. It is about their own existence. Of
You're
course,
absolutely right. This is very complicated, and it is going to be tough for us to solve in 15 minutes.
Yes.
I'll definitely acknowledge that.
Yes. All right. I want to also, you know, come back when we talk about Prime Minister Narendra Modi, an American president. But